I have the most common type of MPN, myeloproliferative neoplasm. I have Polycythemia Vera. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. This one's going to be a little bit all over the place. It's kind of just going to be a mixture of different footage of, I guess, the first month and a half of living with Polycythemia Vera, a rare blood cancer. Yeah, it's kind of going to be all over the place, but we're just going to roll with it. And I've taken various clips throughout different days over the past month and a half. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so editing Danny here. It's been a journey the past month month and a bit. Every day's been different, like mentally, emotionally, physically. It's just hard to plan stuff. It's hard to see friends, family. It's hard to accept shifts at work because I could be feeling good on a day when I accept it or make plans, and then the day rolls around and the biggest part of the journey for me has been trying to do everything that I can to help myself physically and mentally, and that sort of started with getting into a routine of exercising, and I have found that it has been helping. On days where I don't move my body or I don't exercise or even do like a quick 10-minute stretch, I just feel blah. Like, everybody's journey is different, but if you're able to move and you're able to muster up enough energy to even go for like a little walk around the block or just down the street. Sorry, dog moving, getting comfortable. It has been really tough mentally. You get support from your family and your friends, and I've had people message me who I haven't spoken to in a long time, telling me that they're here for me and if I need to talk, you know. And I do have a therapist that I have been speaking to, but it just gets lonely because unless you have it, you don't understand. And I don't personally know anybody else who has this. Like, I'm not close with anybody who has it. I'm in support groups and stuff like that, but like, I don't personally know anybody my age that has this, so it's been quite lonely. I talk to Brad about it and how I'm feeling, and I always ask him every day how he's feeling and how he's coping, and I'm like really losing my train of thought. This is what the Hydria does. I pull out the camera, I try to talk. Nothing. Oh, my brain. This is the brain fog that I was talking about in the last video. It's really bad today. I don't even remember what I was talking about. It's lonely. This disease is lonely because, you can explain it as much as you want to people, but unless you have it, you just don't know. I really lost my train of thought. I don't know where I was going with this. Whoops. Okay. It's been over a week since I heard the news. I felt probably every possible kind of emotion there is to feel. Today was the first day I did like a thorough deep clean of the house. I just did a workout. It was 20 minutes, it wasn't much. I feel exhausted, especially after doing all of that. I feel really tired, but I'm hoping that it will get easier the more that I do it. And I just have to know and accept the fact that I'm going to have good days where I have a bit more energy and I feel like I can do workouts and go for walks and, you know, paint or maybe even stream again, I don't know. And then I'm going to have bad days where I've got absolutely no energy and I'm exhausted and I can't do anything and I feel terrible. I've just got to go with it day to day. It's a journey. It's going to be a journey. Day 2 of trying to be a bit healthier, exercising, trying to make sure I eat properly. In the past, I've been working out because I didn't like the way I looked. Now I have to switch that mindset and think I'm doing this for my health, not to look better, but to help my symptoms, to make myself feel better, to make everyday things easier for me. I think I've wallowed in it enough, in the sadness and the anger and the frustration and the grief, and I think that I have to start taking care of myself, which means exercising, even if it's only like 10-15 minutes, that's fine. Trying to push through, but not pushing myself so hard that, you know, completely wrecks me. It's a whole other ball game now, kind of. I've got to do it to feel better, to make other things easier. I'm not doing it just to look a certain way. I've got to get that out of my head. They're like, okay, I've been diagnosed with Polycythemia Vera. It's time that I actually start to take it seriously and make sure that I move my body and fill it with good food. So this is going to be a journey, this is going to be a process. Okay, this is my first day going back to work. I don't feel great today. I've got a lot of stomach pain, like it feels burning, and I'm assuming that's because of the medication, the Hydrea. I'll see how I go. I'm only on 9 AM till 2 PM, so it's 5 hours, it's not that bad. I'm just scared that I'm not going to be able to do too much and it's going to be a letdown for the team, and I'll see how I go. I don't know, I'm nervous, but I'm excited to go back to work because it's a distraction, it's decent money. I just hope that the brain fog doesn't get too bad, or the pain, or anything else. We'll see how I go. I really want to try, because I'm not gonna know how I'm gonna do until I try it. I guess I'll report in at the end of my shift. I wanted to mention, so it's my first day back at work after the shift. On the drive home, I saw 2 or 3 rainbows. Now, that might not mean much, but to me, when I see a rainbow, it sort of symbolizes you're exactly where you're meant to be right now. You know, don't stress too much about little things and you're in a good place. And I've been stressing about work because it's work that involves me being on my feet and lifting heavy objects, and I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to do it for. But seeing that rainbow today, or those rainbows, it brought me comfort and a little bit of peace. It made me feel like it was okay to not know, and that where I am right now is perfectly fine, and it's where I'm meant to be, and I'm happy with work-wise. Just made me feel a little bit better. In bath. I was meant to work today. I was very tired when I woke up. I felt very weak. So I took it slow this morning. I had something to eat, I had a shower, I drank lots of water. I still wasn't feeling great. And then I was driving to work and I started to lose my breath. I found it very hard to breathe. My lungs were getting very tight, which is what the hydroxycarbamide, the medication, has been doing to me. But usually just at night. I got to work and I went in there and I'm like, I can't breathe. I'm really struggling to breathe. And they sat me down and they sat with me and they're like, what's going on? Are you okay? Like, you look really bad. And I just started crying and I'm like, I have a rare blood cancer and my medication is fucking with me. I can't breathe. And they were both just like, oh fuck, like what do you say when someone says something like that? But they sat with me and everybody at work was amazing. They were like, you don't need to be here, like you should have just called in sick. I'm like, well, I thought it was safer to actually get to work rather than to be stuck on the side of the road alone. So because I was short of breath, I was getting very dizzy, and then suddenly my whole body went numb and I went ice cold. It wasn't good. It was embarrassing because I wanted to keep work separate. I didn't want to bring this stuff to work, and on my third day back, that's what I do. So now everybody's probably gonna know. But they're good people. I work with a really amazing team of people and it scares me because I'm never gonna get that kind of support anywhere else. It is really hard to find a good team of people to work with and a good, strong, supportive workplace. And I have that now. And it terrifies me that one day I might have to give that up because of this illness. I don't want to. Today has been a really hard day. And I felt like I let my team down and I let myself down, you know, and each day is going to be different, and adjusting to the medication is really hard. Yeah, today was a really hard day and my co-workers made it a lot easier on me. Yesterday was a really hard day. Today, I'm finding it really hard to catch my breath. I cleaned a bit. I brushed fuffles. Get the dog brush. I just did 24 minutes of Grow with Joe. I did a morning mobility and a dance party. It's not super intense, but it's enough to get, you know, a little bit of sweat going and, you know, your blood pumping. And normally I wouldn't be breathing like this after something like that, but these medications, because it ruined my day yesterday. I lost 6 hours of work because of it. But I know that, you know, we need to move our bodies and we need to keep our heart going and our blood pumping. I have sweat dripping down my face. That was hard. That was really hard. I felt nauseous at one point and I kept moving. I was slower, but I kept moving and I pushed through it and I got through it. And then once I passed that nausea and that exhaustion, I pushed through it. I don't know, it's really weird. What do you think, Fuffles? Are you proud of me? Are you proud? Are you proud of me? Yes, I'm sweating. Don't lick the sweat, it's gross. It's yuck. Giving a little cheeky sneak peek. So we went and picked what our house is going to look like, all the colours, all the finishes, everything. So this is essentially going to be the tile that's on our bathroom and laundry floor. We are having a mixture of colours in the kitchen, so our kitchen bench top we upgraded to stone, and we're having this really nice like quartzy kind of white colour. The bench underneath is going to be black, same with the cupboards on the ground level, but then we have overhead cupboards on the wall above the stove, and I decided to go with a little, I thought that would look really nice. This is our paint colour. A lot of the whites were like super white, like paper white. It was too white, it was ridiculous, so we went with a more of a like creamy sort of white. Bathrooms are very similar to what's going on in the kitchen. So our bench top is this really pretty, like a marble kind of colour. So this is the bathroom here, I should put it here so you can see it. So this is the bathroom tile. This is going to be the bathroom countertop, and the counter is going to be black as well. So it's mostly light. I just wanted one sort of little dark statement piece to make it pop. We didn't get to choose the colour of our front door, but this is what they gave us. It says front door render, so I'm assuming that's the colour of the front door. The floors, I will insert a photo somewhere here for you to see what our hardwood floors are going to look like. We upgraded them. All I've managed to do today was like 10-15 minutes of stretching, and I had work yesterday. I didn't do much, but my body just was tired, and I just kind of went into a spiral today of, realistically, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to work there or how many days a week, and I might need to look for something else where it's easier on my body and I can sit down. That's never what I wanted to do. I didn't want to do this. Is not what I had planned for my life. There's just so much going on that I just... None of this was in the plan. Like, it's just a really hard day mentally and physically. Mentally, I'm just spiraling, worrying about my future, what I'm going to do for work, how I'm going to help Brad pay for everything, because it shouldn't all be on one person. At least we've always split everything in half. It's the way that we've always done it, and it's getting really hard. This was never part of the plan. So yesterday was a pretty bad day. I think probably the worst day that I've had, physically and mentally, apart from, you know, the few days after I got my diagnosis. I was feeling really sluggish and tired. I just did a 40-minute Tabata, however you say it, workout. It's sweat dripping down my face, it got in my eye, it burned. gonna do some self-care today probably, which probably involves some skincare and painting and eating good and that kind of stuff. See how we go. We keep it real here. Shower, done, hair washed for the first time in like 5 days, and skincare. We keep it real here. Feeling good. Feeling good. What about you? Maybe not so much. Don't mind me just taking the cat for a walk in the backyard, getting some sun. Hey. It's really important, especially in the winter, to, you're right, get some sun. There he goes. What? Thor, let her walk. You're very vocal today. Oh, don't go too close to the fence. The neighbour's dog isn't friendly. Yeah, we'll go in the sun. Haven't been outside in a while. It's winter, it's cold, it's wet, it's rainy, it's windy. Sloth. It's how I feel. It's really important to get some sun, especially in the winter. It's the middle of winter here. I've been inside for the past few days. I haven't felt very well at all, and I don't feel good today still, but I took some tramadol and it's killed the pain a little bit. So we're just outside, aren't we? Wait! Fashion. Oh, just kicked her in the face, I'm sorry. But it's fashion, isn't it, sheebies? Socks and thongs. Are you looking at the tree? Do you want to climb the tree? Oh, you're so vocal. Are you happy to be outside? Yeah. Please don't eat random stuff, that's bad. So today is the first day that I have gotten my period since being on this medication. Hello, you don't miss out on anything, do you? No, you don't. It was really tough. I woke up really early. Horrible pain. Got to the point where I had taken pain tablets for period pain specifically. That did nothing. So I ended up taking some tramadol instead, and it took its time, but I think it's helped. I've also got Ovaria. This thing, it's a TENS machine for period pain. Absolutely amazing. I don't know how I did it before I had one of these. It's probably best to cook something now while I've got I guess minimal pain. So we're rolling with it. The decor, and that looks like you know what that looks like. Not my house. Living with Brad's parents till our house gets built, and his mum, yeah, she's got different taste. I don't think she's got like a specific style, but not our house, not our decor. Things will look completely different. Have my Naked Harvest green juice here. Helps me with extra minerals and vitamins. It's gonna be teriyaki chicken with rice. And I'm cooking up a bunch so that when I don't feel well, I've got it in the fridge and I can just throw together something simple. Yeah. Look, for the most part, it's taken away my bone pain and all of that sort of stuff, so that's been really good. Like, I've been able to exercise again and that sort of stuff. The only big thing really is that it's been making me pretty dizzy. Like, it comes and goes, but when it's there it's quite intense. And I've been getting really short of breath, especially at night. I had a few COVID tests done and, you know, they all came back negative. So I think that it's the medication doing that, because that started maybe like 2 or 3 days after I'd started the medication. So yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, normally we don't see that as a side effect of the hydroxycarbamide, but at the end of the day, I mean, anything's possible. You think all sorts of idiosyncratic side effects against various medications.
Yeah.
I mean, at the moment your blood tests are looking a bit better. So the platelet count has come down a bit.
Okay.
It was about 900 before, it's come down to about 750.
Alright.
The hemoglobin is about 147 at the moment, so the hematocrit is just on that borderline of being high. So I was going to suggest today to increase the dose slightly, but if you're finding that you're feeling a bit, you know, I guess if you're feeling like you're getting side effects from the medication, we should probably just maybe give it a bit more time.
Okay.
Are you happy just to sort of keep on with the dose as you have been, and maybe just look at doing a blood test in about 3 weeks, and just see how things are looking then? Because I would hope that the side effects do dissipate after that period of time. You know, usually people get used to the medication and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're still having those side effects, we might just need to stop it and just continue the aspirin by itself, and see if that keeps things controlled. But yeah, we'll see. All right.
Okay.
But unfortunately, there's no particular medication or anything I'd suggest to sort of address those side effects at the moment.
Okay, yeah, because I did see a GP about it just to be safe, but yeah, he did a COVID test and then, yeah, it was negative, and I'm like, well, I knew it was the medication, so yeah. Hi, editing Danny here, hence the robe and the couch and the dog. I'm just getting down here. So basically, I was quite upset and disappointed with my haematologist with that appointment, because we were on very different wavelengths, and in the booklet thing that the pharmacist gave me about the medication, about the Hydrea, I mean, one of the side effects on there was the shortness of breath, and for him to tell me that that shouldn't be happening or that was really uncommon, it just, I don't know, it kind of got to me a bit, because you know your body, especially if you've got illnesses and something changes, like, you know what it is generally. So I was just, I guess, a little bit taken back by that. You know, there are a lot of other drugs on the market for people with PV, the Polycythemia Vera. I've seen 4 big ones, including the Hydrea. So the Hydrea is one, and that is the one that I'm on at the moment. That is a chemotherapy drug. I've seen a lot of patients in support groups saying that it's a cheap, dirty drug. Like, a lot of people don't like it, and it doesn't work for a lot of people. But there are other drugs. Jakafi, I hope I'm saying that right. Jakafi is another big one that I have seen. From what I have seen on support groups, it's not chemotherapy based. So that would probably be my next bet to look into, Jakafi. There are also Bosemi, which I think is like a shot, like an injection. I'll have to look into it, and there's also a drug called Pegasus. I saw in the beginning a lot of people talking about Jakafi, and more recently I've seen the Pegasus and Bosemi popping up a lot. So I think that's a conversation that I'm going to have with my haematologist to try to figure out if the Hydrea is something that I can switch out. in the initial appointment he didn't seem sure about the treatment plan or where to go next, or if the Hydrea didn't work, where else we were going to go. But seeing these other 3 drugs being mentioned a lot in support groups, just, it makes me wonder a little bit. Like, you know, if patients are mentioning it and you're the doctor, you're the specialist, like, why aren't you, kind of thing, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. I guess while I'm here, I wasn't able to go to work this week. It's my first period since being on the Hydrea, and if you didn't know before, I suffer terrible period pain. I have a suspicion that I have endometriosis, but that hasn't been officially diagnosed by a doctor yet. I was getting very sick. I was getting gradually weaker and I was losing energy, and I felt drunk without being drunk. Like, I haven't had any alcohol, I'm sober, and I felt like I was drunk. It's the weirdest feeling. And then sure enough, Aunt Flo shows up, or Aunt Irma as I like to call it. IT crowd, catch my reference. Yeah, I knew that it was coming, and I knew that it was gonna suck. And I took naproxenic, which is usually my go-to for period pain. This coupled with Panadol, but that didn't work. So I took, the box says Zydol, but it's Tramadol, more or less. And I was able to make some food and get some sun, but I'm pretty flat now. As I'm editing the video, the pain is starting to come back, and it sounds ridiculous, but I've got that like almost drunk feeling again. Like, I feel kind of like woozy almost, if that makes sense. Like, I'm a bit dizzy, I feel unbalanced, I feel heavy, like, I don't know, it's a lot. My body is struggling on this medication. Before I was on the medication, like, I would get tired and it would knock me out for like a day or so afterwards, but on this medication, one day of work, one like 8-hour shift knocks me out for 3 days. I can't do anything. I think I'm gonna have to talk about switching medications, because if I can try a drug that's not chemo based, I think that would help. I think that might be best. But like I said in my last video, if you're young, you definitely have to push your doctors, because they like to think that they know best, and although they are the professionals, it's, you know your body more than anybody else, and you know how it reacts to stuff more than anybody else. So yeah, it's kind of where I'm at the moment. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that if you're going through something similar, it made you feel a little less alone. Everybody's journey will be different. Everybody experiences things differently. No two people are the same. Yeah, this is just kind of my journey, and I guess the first month of me learning to live with the red blood cancer, and I guess trying to do everything that I can to help myself physically and mentally. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.